Hello, welcome to part 2 of our ride to Haweswater and beyond. As you can see, we're in Shap village now. Just had lunch. I had egg, Cumberland sausage, chips, mushy peas and gravy, and it was yummy. Lynn was very good. She had poached egg on brown bread toast. So it has been raining. It's dry now, thankfully, down these little lanes. Perfect for walking and motorcycling. Absolutely perfect. Really quiet. Not good for cars. I think you'll find he was probably a local, probably a farmer. Right, so we're off to see Haweswater now. Now Haweswater is a reservoir that supplies the city of Manchester, some 50 miles from here, with water, tap water. Now, the damming of the area was started in 1929 after Parliament passed an act giving Manchester Corporation permission to build the reservoir to supply water for Manchester. At the time, there was public outcry about the decision, as the valley of Mardale was populated by farming villages of Meisland and Mardale Green, and the construction of the reservoir would mean that these villages would be flooded and lost, and the population would have been moved. In addition, the valley was considered one of the most picturesque in Westmoreland, and many people thought it should be left alone. So basically they needed to flood that valley, and if you look up on the internet, Haweswater Reservoir, you can see all this. There's photographs and information about the villages before it was flooded. Now, in drought conditions, and the last time it actually came in view was actually this year, but the last drought before, it wasn't a drought this year, it was just a bit of a dry spell. But in 1994-95 there were two particularly dry summers and winters. So by the time 1995 came along, summer, there's a little bridge that goes over to the chapel. It was actually visible because the water level had dropped so much. So originally Haweswater was a natural lake about 4 kilometres long, almost divided in two by a tongue of land at Meisland. The two reaches of the lake were known as high water and low water. The building of the dam raised the water level by 29 metres or 95 feet and created a reservoir 6 kilometres or 4 miles long and almost 600 metres, almost a half a mile wide. The dam wall measures 470 metres long and 27.5 metres high. At the time of construction, it was considered to be cutting-edge technology, as it was the first hollow buttress dam in the world, being constructed using 44 separate buttresses units joined by flexible joints. There is a parapet 1.4 meters wide, running the length of the dam, and from this tunnelled supplies can be seen entering the reservoir in the adjoining valleys of Heltondale and Swindale. When the reservoir is full, it holds 84 billion litres or 18.6 billion gallons of water. The reservoir is now owned by United Utilities plc and plays a vital role in supplying about 25% of the Northwest's water supply. Before the valley was flooded in 1935, all the farms and dwellings of the villages of Mardale Green and Measland were demolished, as well as the centuries-old Dun Bull Inn at Mardale Green. The village church was dismantled and the stone used in constructing the dam. You won't get away with that now, I don't think. All the bodies in the churchyard were exhumed and reburied at Shap. Today, when the water in the reservoir is low, the remains of the submerged village of Mardale Green, as I've alluded to already, can still be seen, as stone walls and the village bridge can become visible as the water level drops. Manchester Corporation built a new road along the eastern side of the lake to replace the flooded highway lower in the valley, and the Haweswater Hotel was constructed midway down the length of the reservoir as a replacement for the Dun Bull. The road continues to the western end of Haweswater, where a small car park has been built. This is a popular starting point for walkers who want to climb the surrounding fells of Harter Fell, Brandstree and High Street. The Haweswater Valley is the only place in England where golden eagles nest, or at least used to nest. There is an RSPB observation post in the valley of Rippingdale, where the pair have their eyrie. The viewpoint is manned by volunteers on weekends and bank holidays from Easter to end of August. A pair of eagles first nested in the valley in 1969, and the male and female of the pairing have changed several times over the years, during which 16 chicks have been produced. The female disappeared in April 2004, leaving the male on its own. However, the RSPB are hoping the replacement female will be drawn to the area. The male is believed to be about 15 years old, so only middle-aged as far as eagles go. So a little bit of information about the area that we're about to visit. Right, so we've arrived at the side of the reservoir. Just looking for a safe space to pull in and take some photographs. After heavy rain on the day before, the Friday, there's quite a lot of water runoff, as you can see there. Beautiful colours. There's Lynn taking some photographs with her mobile phone, and Sylvia in the background. There she is, the beautiful FJR 1300. 15,000 miles on the clock now. She was 12 months old last May, so she'll be 2 in May. Due for a new rear tyre, squared off now. It's still legal, but it's squared off now. I've got about 8,000 miles on the out of them, so it's pretty good going. So yeah, there's I think the water levels are fine now after all the recent rain. And when it rains up there, it rains. It really does. Some spectacular cloud cover over the fells, and a lot of people remark about the stone walls, the dry stone walls that we have in England. It really does. They do really add to the surroundings, in my view. North Yorkshire, which is England's biggest county, is there's a lot of dry stone walling on the farmland, and it really is absolutely stunning. It really is. So yeah, we further along you'll see that we came across some sheep. Sheep graze, you know, they're actually farm animals, they're not wild. Somebody asked me if they're just wild, and they're not. They belong to a farm, and usually there are when you see sheep on the roads, usually you know, there are cattle grids, what they call cattle grids, where you actually drive and ride over steel bars to stop the sheep from, you know, wandering away from their farm. But I think these sheep on here, as you'll see later, I think they've probably jumped over the wall. They can't half jump. So yeah, so you've got to be aware of sheep on the road when you're riding. Together with deer, we have a problem with deer in this country. I shot at the bike there. Yeah, there's somebody I know that was actually killed on his motorcycle, and the deer came out and clipped the back of his bike, and he was an advanced trainer, and sadly he died at the scene. And I can only put it down to the lack of culling. There needs to be a cull, and also because of everybody's cutting back the fences, the walls, the gates, everything, the infrastructure to keep these animals away from the roads is deteriorating. So you're going to get more problems with deer on the roads, on the highways, which is a nightmare thought. So yeah, there's quite a lot of water cascading down. It's a pity you can't hear the water on the photographs, because it's a lovely sound, all water hitting the rocks. So as I said, the day before, there was really heavy rain, so I wouldn't have liked to have been up there that day. Not really. So what we did, we sort of rode along a bit more and pulled in, took some more photographs, and I think we were there probably just about an hour, sort of riding along and just taking it in, just chilling, total chilling. So there's different types of motorcycling. You know, there's the sporty type. I mean, you know, that's why I love the sport tourer. You've got a sports bike and a touring machine all in one. Comfort. The FJR, as Brian will agree, is so comfortable. You can ride for, you know, 300 miles in a day very easily, and get off fairly fresh. But there are some people in this country that just turn their noses up at sports tourers. In fact, there was a guy that we met at the Bacon Butty lay-by. He had a GTR 1400. I think in America they call it the Concourse, I think, or something like that. The GTR 1400 Kawasaki. And I think he said his previous bike was an R1. In fact, he had both at one time, and but the R1 just wasn't getting used because he was always out on the GTR. I wonder why. And when I said to him, well, you know, you've got a sports tourer there, you know, not as a detrimental remark, as fact. And it was amazing. No, he said, no, he said, it's not a tourer, you know. I thought, well, GTR, what does that stand for? You know, there's a bit of a clue there. But it's funny, really, you know, they're in denial, and yet, you know, it's, to me, you know, it does everything. The FJR and the likes of that, the Pan-European, the ST1300, GTR, you know, they do everything. They're universal, in my view. And what's more, they've got a shaft drive instead of a chain. So, I mean, the guy with the Hayabusa, the two chaps, the 79 and 80-year-old, they're of course chain driven. Well, to me, a chain is old-fashioned, but that's just my opinion. Why have a chain when we've got a shaft drive? It almost maintenance free. Anyway, there we are. Each to their own. So, hope you're enjoying these photographs. Get back to some more music now. I think I've said enough for now. So now we're heading to the little car park at the end of the reservoir at the western end. This is the road that the corporation in Manchester built to replace a road that was lost with the flooding of the valley. I didn't realise that until now. So it's a relatively new road, really. So I'll sit back, enjoy the music, enjoy the views. Please comment, please like and subscribe. Bye for now.